All right, so starting out, this is, of course, an online asynchronous course. So you'll be kind of working through things on your own pace. Typically, there will be 1 week released ahead of time, so you'll be able to work to up to a week in advance if you choose. And my name, like in the introduction, Colton Gearhart, and best way to contact me with questions is via email, or as I'll talk about in the next video, through the discussion board on our Canvas course. Emails, you can typically expect a response within 24 to 48 hours. And I do have office hours. I'm in the 4th floor of Robert Bell Building in 411. And they are Tuesday, Thursday from 12 to 1 p.m. If you do plan on coming, then please let me know so that I can be ready for whatever you have to ask. This is a 3 credit hour course, and also we have the prereqs. If you have any concerns about the prereqs, then please reach out to me so that we can get that sorted as soon as possible. Next up is the description and the rationale. So this is, of course, a data visualization course. So we're going to be learning kind of the science behind what goes into a good visual, as well as, of course, making good visuals, starting with data, using software, using technology, and ending up with a nice, effective image. So that is going to be kind of the big theme of this course. And there are some specific things that we're going to learn along the way. So by the end of this course, hopefully we can recognize what goes into a good visual, right? If we see one in the media, we can kind of dissect it and see if this is truly a good visualization based on the principles that we're going to learn. We're also going to learn how to work with data in both Excel, Tableau, and R as well. So we're going to be working with data a lot. All visuals start from data. And then, of course, based on the type of data, we want to be able to select the correct visual. And like I said, using those softwares, that's how we're going to be creating these visuals. And then ultimately, the very last piece of the puzzle is going to be communicating these visuals to an audience. So we might have some presentations where you will be kind of presenting graphics that you've made. In this case, your audience would be me. In terms of the content, specific things that we're going to cover, kind of just breaking down those course objectives into more specific reasons, more specific ideas. So we're going to, through our readings, learn about kind of what goes into the science aspect of what we can actually perceive when we look at graphs. And then we will look at a graph and be able to distinguish between the different types of objects and how we perceive each of those. And then, of course, we'll look at different types of graphs based on whether or not we have numeric, categorical, whatever kind of data that we have. And eventually we'll get into kind of interactive dashboards, kind of putting reports and charts all in one kind of interactive interface for users to work with themselves. As far as course materials, there are a few things that you'll need. 2 textbooks that we're going to be working from. The first one is called Storytelling with Data. So throughout the semester, as explained in the course structure down here, we're going to have kind of continuous readings out of this textbook, Storytelling with Data. And it looks like this. So this textbook can be either purchased, it can also be found in a PDF online if you search for it hard enough. So this is going to be a really good textbook. This is where we're going to kind of learn the principles behind data visualization. And there is more on the readings in a moment, so I'll come back to that. We also have a second textbook, which is called R for Data Science. So this is going to correspond to our 3rd module, which is going to be R. And this is a free published online book that goes through R and specifically how to use R for data science. And we're going to be working in the data visualization chapter mainly. But we're not going to worry about this textbook until later in the semester. And that's going to be kind of the latter 6 to 7 weeks. And then, of course, the software that we need. So we're going to be using our computers heavily. So the first module is going to be Excel. So you guys will be working with Microsoft Excel. Hopefully you already have that on your computer. If not, there will be instructions for how to do that, how to get that installed through your Ball State account. Tableau, when we get that, I will be releasing instructions about how to register and download Tableau, and then also R and RStudio. All of these resources are going to be free to you, right? I chose software so that everybody can access them and we don't have to pay for them. Additional resources, so these are just some other books that would be good reads if you find yourself very interested and want to learn more about data visualization as we move through the semester or afterwards. These would be kind of good follow-ups to really good books, and then also some websites where you can kind of see some really good data visualizations, and some of which we may even learn how to do. So this one is called like a network or a slope, a parallel lines plot. So we might learn how to do that at the end of the semester, but feel free to browse around here to really get a feel of what data visualization is, and then we'll dive more into it. In terms of the class structure, so online asynchronous, typically the flow is going to be, well, the first week is a little bit different because we have all this intro stuff. So you'll be watching this video, you'll watch the Meet Your Instructor video, and then in the next video, there'll be kind of a how to navigate. So that is where I'll cover a few things that I didn't quite get to in this video. And then finally is going to be a introduction to data viz. So kind of big picture, what is data visualization? And I'll show you some examples. And then we're also installing Excel and working through the data camp for Excel all in week 1. So week 1 is a bit jam-packed, but after that, there will be a pretty standard flow. So you'll start out with content, and all of this is explained in the overviews. So I'll just jump into the module 1 overview right now. So this gives you a big timeline of each week and the videos and assignments that you have for each week. So like I said, week 1, we have the introductory module. And that is where you have the different videos. There'll be the links on here and then the assignments going with them. So this one, 3 videos, and then the course overview quiz that goes over content from this video and the following video, just to make sure you understand the key ideas, right? Especially deadlines, points, how that stuff is going to work. And then there is a intro to data viz video, and then a discussion post, just so I and your classmates can learn a little bit more about you. Then if I go back to the Excel module overview, the general flow is for every new module, you're going to start with, of course, the introduction and how to install. So those are 1.0 and 1.1 in this case. So 1.0 will give you instructions on how to install the particular software. 1.1 is going to be the data camp. So data camp is like an online platform where you watch videos and kind of do interactive exercises. So that's going to serve both as content and as an assignment for the introductory week of a module. And those should be available. So that is going to be your 1.0, instructions on how to install Excel, and 1.1, the data camp overview. So this first one tells you how to install data camp, rather how to join our class and what data camp is. I'll give you the brief highlights real quick. So in order to gain access to data camp, you have to be a part of our course. So in order to do that, all you have to do is click this link, and if you don't have an account, it'll want you to make one. Make sure you use your Ball State account, and then you'll have an assignment already assigned to you, Introduction to Excel. And this is where you will get a good overview. It'll give you the great foundation for how we're going to use Excel. So these are really, really useful. And the way you complete these is by earning enough XP by watching the videos, completing the exercises. And when you do that, you'll end up with a statement of accomplishment, and this is what you're going to submit for the assignment. So one thing here is that in your submission, I need to see your name somewhere included in there so that I know that it was you that did this, or else no credit can be given. So my recommendation when you work through these data camp courses is to really put some effort into them and follow along with the exercises. So when you click this link, it'll give you a download for the workbooks that the videos go through and the exercises. So there's going to be great practice, right? Your first real practice in working through Excel, kind of some more advanced things. So there's going to be great practice for you. Then once we finish that week, so the install and the data camp will always be the first week. Then we'll start into kind of the official content that I have been giving you. And typically it'll be 1 or 2, 3 videos about a topic, and then you'll have a lab. The lab assignment will be practicing the content, and that will be due on Thursday of that week. So all of the labs are due on Thursdays. And then next you would either watch some more videos if there is some, and then you would do the homework assignment. So the homework is going to build on the lab builds on the content. So it's all kind of building and ending with the homework being due on that week's Sunday. Then we kind of do it all again for the next week. So that's kind of the general flow of how this class is going to work. And you can see that here with the setup in the overview. All right, so grades. How do grades work in this class? So along with the readings, there is going to be some Canvas quizzes just to make sure that you have actually done the readings. Those will be super easy. As long as you did the reading, then it will be easy to answer. Those are going to be worth 10% of your grade. And then we might have some discussion posts along with the labs and the data camps. All of these are kind of grouped together in one type of grade. Those are going to be worth 25% of your grade, and the lowest one will be dropped, but that only refers to the labs. So just the lab assignments can be dropped. All of the discussion posts and the data camps, right, those are going to be just mainly for participation, so those ones cannot be dropped. Homework, this will account for 40% of your grade. So the bulk of our grade is going to be through homework. So there's no exams in this class, which is a good thing, but you will be busy with homework, right? Homework is going to be where you are actually practicing the concepts, using what you've learned and extending it. That's going to be the best way to learn any new piece of software, is to be practicing, practicing, practicing. So that is why there's such a big emphasis on homework in this class. Again, the lowest score of these is going to be dropped. And then at the very end of the semester, we're going to have a group project. So this will be in the R module when we are working through Shiny, which is how to code a dashboard. So that project is going to be with 1 or 2 classmates, and that will account for 25% of your grade. Last few points here, late work. Because of how this course is structured, right? You know the deadlines ahead of time and you can work up to a week ahead. I will not be accepting late work unless there is an exception that has been presented to me with legitimate circumstances via email, or if you stop by my office, and I just put a time frame in here, at least 2 days before, right? So just keep me apprised. I can be reasonable, but definitely don't come to me on or email me on Saturday night at midnight that I'm not gonna be able to get the homework done, right? I need more of an advance notice, right? Just work with me, just keep me in the loop. On that note though, there will be no allowances for computer issues. So obviously everything that we're gonna be doing is gonna be involving the computer. If you can't get it on your personal machine, a lot of the computers around campus have it. Definitely go to the tech center if you're having any issues. Definitely save your 1 second. Definitely save your files. Make sure to back them up. So whether that be in your local device or if you save it to either OneDrive or Google Drive. Emailing it to yourself is also another possibility. So here's a summary of the grades. Academic integrity, last few points here. So homework and labs are supposed to be completed individually, but you are allowed to kind of discuss with each other. So collaboration is going to be a great way to learn, but definitely want to produce your own solution. So collaborate with someone, right? Bounce ideas off each other, but the final product should be yours. So direct copying of code or anything else from either a classmate or an online source is not tolerated. And group project, we'll talk more about this when it comes, but just one student has to submit, but you guys will be evaluating each other. So that will be part of the grade as well. And in terms of looking up help, right? A good part of learning a new software is Googling, right? Not afraid to admit it. A lot of Googling takes place when you learn a new software, but that doesn't mean copying exactly what you find, right? Make sure you can understand it, make sure you know what's going on, right? Kind of tweak it a little bit and make it your own code still. And best case scenario, you can kind of cite your sources where you got that information from. As far as requesting help goes, when you have questions on the homework or the labs, I would like you to try to spend some time working on it. And if you get stuck, right, maybe do some internet searching, maybe see if you can find a solution, find something else, use the help documentation, but spend some time working on it before you come to me. Then if you are really stuck, then when you do reach out to me, you at least have something to go on and I can help guide you to the solution. That's going to be kind of the best workflow rather than just immediately coming from me, right? Getting it wrong is just as important as getting it right, because that's how you learn any new software. You learn what does work, what doesn't work, and why. Last point here is the disability statement. So if you are registered with the disability services and you have that letter, if you could forward that to me as soon as possible, and then either reach out to me in that email and we can decide what is the best plan of action to help you succeed in this course, and definitely want to do anything that I can to help. So please reach out to me if that pertains to you. Okay, I think that's it for the syllabus. I will see you in the next video.